Hey collectors, Anthony from HNE here, and today we're going to check out Power Rangers X Street Fighter Lightning Collection Morphed, Blazing Phoenix, Chun-Li, and Soaring Falcon, Ken Masters. Just like with the Ninja Turtles crossover, this time the Street Fighters enter the Morphin Grid. Given powered up forms that are perfect crossovers between classic garb and the original Mighty Morphin aesthetic, Chun-Li and Ken can now even kick Lord Zedd's butt. MORPHENOMINAL. This video features an item available for pre-order or purchase at Big Bad Toy Store. Check out the link in this video's description to visit their website. And here they are, Power Rangers Cross Street Fighter Lightning Collection, Morphed Chun-Li, Blazing Phoenix Ranger, and Morphed Ken, Master Soaring Falcon Ranger. And I have one complaint about these guys already, which is super disappointing because as you see on the left, I have Raphael from the Power Rangers X Ninja Turtles crossover, and they had something that these guys don't get, and that makes me a little bit sad. But before we get into talking about what the thing is, also to the right, you see the evil Tommy, you know, the evil green Power Ranger, also the evil white Power Ranger. You know, basically Lord Draken. But anyway, boxes. Let's look at the boxes. Let's put these guys aside and look at the boxes. And the box content inside is generally the same, so I'm only going to show the inside of one. But of course, here's the front of Chun-Li's box, and on the side it has a nice picture of her. Here we go here. So it's a 6-inch figure-ish. And here's our... Now, this box art reminds me... I want to say Street Fighter 4 more than it does 5, but... You know, whatever. But then here's Ken's box. And it looks like a cross between the Dragon... You know, because technically the Dragon Zord didn't necessarily go with the Green Ranger, because anybody could get this piece. But, yeah, because the Red Ranger had it before the Green Ranger existed. And so anyway, yeah, this guy is... it says 6'1", but yeah, they're all 6-inch figures, I guess. Are they 6 inches? Maybe 4 inches. I don't know. I think they're 6 inches. 5 inches? Yeah. Anyway, that's his box. What's inside the box? I'm rambling. Both of them are exactly the same, and it's creepy because what happens is you're essentially given body bags and accessory bags. Because I was like, wait a minute, are they dead? Like, it is very, and it is all to avoid using plastic. And the only consistent thing between most Hasbro figures, of course, is the don't hurt yourself papers. And so, you know, don't hurt yourself. So here's Chun-Li and Ken standing. So the one gripe I had was that, unlike with the Ninja Turtles, you don't get their alternate heads without the helmet on. And that makes me sad, because it would be nice to be able to take off their helmets and have Chun-Li's head or Ken's head, you know, without the rest of the uniform. I mean, heck, even Tommy here has a regular mulleted head. He's a full-on mullet. But I don't know. I could have traded a couple of these in for that. I would. Like, I don't need all of these blast effects, or, you know, this is actually cool. You'll keep that. So let's. Before we get into some articulation, just go with the accessories here. So Chun-Li comes with this piece here. It's supposed to mimic her kick attack. So it's supposed to be her foot really fast doing that particular attack. And it's fairly stiff and chunky. Her foot goes in there, I guess, at an angle. But yeah. Then she gets this. This is for her throwing attack. And it looks like a very fancy Kamehameha wave. But that's pretty nifty. And then, of course, here is her Phoenix. So it's a nice blue color. It's very bendy. And then, of course, she gets two wide open hands. And the typical hands, nothing too fancy going on there. And they kind of get washed out in the bright light. She also has a stand with little feet pegs. And I'm not quite sure. Okay, there it goes. Maybe like this, I guess. So you can do her flying pose or whatever. And we'll explore that in a little bit. So we'll move her stuff over, and then we'll look at Ken's stuff. He has these punching and kicking bits, I guess. One looks like they fit his foot. The other one looks like it may fit his hand. You know, we'll experiment with them, but they're generally like the same hardness, but they have the different openings, so we'll check that one out. Of course, he comes with the Falcon, and he looks pretty cool. It's fairly nice. He comes with 2 fists, so it's weird that she can pack with fists and he can pack with open hands, but his other 2 are fists. I might switch his hands out, and I think I will for demonstration purposes anyway. And then, of course, he also comes with a stand that looks pretty much the same as Chun-Li's. So I guess we'll just stick that together like that. Okay. So let's start with replacing his hands, and then we will get into some comparisons. Now, I always worry about replacing their hands because you're literally pulling out this little peg. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Which hand would go with this? This one. Okay. There, get that in there. Yeah, that looks correct. There's a little paint splotch on there, I think. So, getting into articulation, very little head up and down. Side to side's fine. He got, whatever reason, I never got this, why you have chest articulation, like why. Hands, they have a little bit of a bend on them. Got the elbow. He got full range in his shoulder. Nice ball joint. Let's see. He has this bend down here, but it's kind of tight, and I think we might have to do a little bit with the accessory around his waist. But you can see you can bend him, and it's kind of making noises. So let's not do it too much. Up and down, left and right. Knees, and it looks like a double jointed knee, but I'm not going to force the lower part. But I mean, you can see it. And it's not too bad. And then, of course, he has up and down foot, but it looks like it's only connected at one point, so probably won't force that too much either. But and then, of course, he can snap his ankle like the rest of us. Oh, so yeah, that's pretty decent. So well, I really loosened this up, so it's fairly close to popping out. Anyway, let's move on. So if I can get him to do something, I twitched his fist, so I think he needs maybe this one here. And there we go. Oh, had it for a sec. Just kind of stick it in there, and it requires friction or whatever. Then he can look like he's doing like a punch or something. So that's not too bad. And then let's see. I think this is supposed to, yeah. So there's a piece on here, and that snaps into place very nicely. And I guess you're supposed to mimic like the punch turning into something. Get the fists out of the way. I don't know exactly how it's supposed to work in this new form, but that's not too bad. It's actually decent enough. And so we'll take this off of him, and then let's see how. Okay, so this has a little piece on it. Yeah. So I guess it can go also on this stand there as some type of thing, because there's really like, can we do something where, yeah, okay, so looks like we can fit the toe of his shoe in there. Maybe a kicking motion. So he kind of does that. It's not the best fit, but then of course you can mount it on the peg. So that's interesting enough. It's a little loose on the top, but it's a lot better as far as articulation, because the turtles are super tight, but this is actually not too bad. So we'll put him back here, and then we'll bring out Chun-Li. And just like with the turtles, as you see, they both have morphers on their belts. So that's a commonality. So they're keeping that true. Although I just realized they did the second series, Ninja Turtles Power Rangers, issue 2 is about to pop out of series 2. And I guess Casey just got his own powered up form, which I'm probably going to end up getting, because I'm a completionist when it comes to Ninja Turtle crossover stuff. Anyway, same type of general articulation, except this thing is just really in the way for her. But you can get the kind of similar movements here. She's a lot more petite though, so you worry about breaking her. Of course, everything, she got a lot more head up and down going with for her. And Ooh, spikes actually hurt. I don't know how you can see I stabbed myself. No, those actually do hurt. So be careful with that. This is some soft good stuff right here, just like his belt. So, you know. Leg articulation, again, it's just impeded a little bit by the clothing. Got the knee bend, except hers bend at the lower part of the knee for whatever case. See, here's the upper part. So that's interesting. Foot does the forward and back thing, as you see, and also does side to side. So articulation is generally the same. And then if I'm not going to replace her hands. I actually like her with fists. So we'll put that aside here. We have the stand here. Then we have the Phoenix. And I'm like, I don't see any way to mount the Phoenix. Oh, there it is. It's on this side here. Okay, so there we go. So it does this. And so I guess somehow if we put her foot on the stand here, maybe she's somehow doing this move. I don't know. Is it like a Kamehameha wave thing or something? I don't know. But stand. Just plug into the ports in the foot. Anyway, we'll put this back over here. Let's see. So she has this. This actually goes on the stand. There is a hole here that would mount it on here and allow you to do whatever move this is. I forget the name of it. I know it's not like the shuriken or anything. Or it is something similar maybe. I don't know. But then she gets, of course, this for her foot. Just point her toes in, stick her foot in, and you get that going on. So actually, maybe there you go. Fits perfectly when you do that. So that looks pretty neat. So yeah, and let's get her back into position. Yeah, so pretty good. I do like these crossovers. There is also a Ryu and a Cammy. I did not get them for some reason. I have an affinity for these guys, so I'll get Chun-Li and Ken and pretty much any crossover they do. Like I got the Ken amiibo from Smash Brothers, and I have and I'll show you, I have this set, which is Chun-Li and Ken and Transformers. So I have the habit of getting anything that they're kind of teamed up in that is crossover. So Street Fighter 2 X Transformers. And so that is pretty much the whole thing for them here. Again, they're just missing a substitute head, which was a missed opportunity. Would have been nice to have. But I mean, otherwise they're decent enough characters. Comparison-wise, they are entirely in scale. Draken's about the same height as Ken, and Chun-Li's about the same height as Raphael. So definitely compatible together if you wanted to play them against each other, or pose them, or however you may use them. So pretty sweet deal.
With that said, tell me in the comments your thoughts on these items. Did you get them, and how was your experience with them? Thanks for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.